Shout out to everybody. The video talking about stop expressing how you feel and your feelings to narcissists or negative people in general. And the reason being, these individuals want to have every insight as possible that they can have into how you're feeling, what you're thinking, because it gives them a mental geographical layout of the direction you're going in and how to affect that if need be. In most cases, when you go and you get emotional, and you go in and you try to really push in and stress about what you feel, they look at that as, you're showing your hand. Okay, you're letting them know, like, okay, this is what I'm mainly focused about. This is mainly what's getting to me. So they can go 10 steps ahead of you from that point and orchestrate all types of obstacles to put before you. And these obstacles, when you run into situations you can't figure out why things keep going wrong when you're with these type of individuals, is because you're giving them, you're informing them, maybe inadvertently, every move that you're making, every concern, every, fear, worry, whatever, you're giving them a layout of that. Your emotions tell a whole lot. They don't have to have specifics on exactly what's going on with you. They just need to know the to what degree of emotional investment that you have on a certain thing. And if it's something about, that's how they can do it and read into you without being so direct. They just look at how what's getting to you, what you're constantly speaking about, what's on your mind. And a lot of you go and share things emotionally with narcissists, and you're giving them a play-by-play of everything that's going on with you. And you have to be aware that they will use that and go, again, set up certain types of triggering traps that they know is going to trigger you emotionally to set you back. Because here's the thing, when a person knows how to trigger your emotions, they have the ability to control you to a certain extent and control your movements, your actions, your ways. Because if they want you to do something and they've studied you and they know every time they get this way or feel this way about something, they get distracted, they get discouraged, and they drift, right? So what a narcissist will do is take that information and go and plant it and strategically plant something to throw you off or trigger you emotionally at a certain point of time. And it'll look unrelated to anything that may have to do with them, because they know how to do this very covertly. They know how to set these emotional triggers up. And once you get into the pattern of responding emotionally, you've already lost the battle. You've already lost. Because now the narcissist can play behind the scenes and pretty much dictate your moves. A lot of times why they're so accurate and able to lock into what you're gonna do before you even do it, because they've studied you to a certain extent of knowing every time you do this, or every time something pressures you or worries you or stress you out, you go into this. They know this. Now, you're not paying attention to it because you're not thinking that a person that you're with that's supposed to have your best interest is going to use this very thing against you to further sabotage or destroy what you're doing or destroy anything that you have going on. You wouldn't think somebody would do something like that, but they do. And that's the point of not going and constantly expressing how you feel emotionally. What's bothering you? What's worrying you? Because these individuals will take every bit of that and use it against you. And it may not be right away. It may not be right away, but they have to study you long enough to know just how much it affects you. And what do you do when it does happen? So instead of, saying these things and talking to them about stuff, you have to kind of, and this is for people who's dealing with them, you have to show them you have to, kind of put on a mask yourself. I'm not telling you or advocating to be disingenuous, but if you're dealing with somebody who is showing signs of opposition to you or an adversary, you can't play them from a fair position. You can't go about dealing with them in ways that would leave you emotionally vulnerable, because they're gonna exploit it. That's what narcissists do. They exploit people. They take that as a weakness. And so be leery of anybody who wants you to confide in them all the time. They want you to come to them and confide and basically pour out your heart. Let them know what's going on. No, don't do that. Keep a lot of your plans, especially things that are important, keep that to yourself. Make moves in silence. Make moves in silence, man, because these individuals are constantly looking for something to bring you down. I mean, once you get with these type of individuals or you're around them, you're used, you're a source, a supply, a tool or something. They're not wanting you to be in the best state of mind or to be progressive or to be very efficient in whatever you're doing. They have to keep you oppressed, because oppression promotes hopelessness. And the more hopelessness that you have and the more despondent you are about what's going on with you, the more you're more apt and willing to abide and give into the suggestions or the guidance of the narcissist. And so that's why they have to constantly put you down or question what you're doing and put pressure on you as to not making the right decisions. They have to constantly be on you in that way. It's all strategical. It's all a part of the game, that they play to suppress an individual. And I know people feel like, well, damn, dude, why does life, it has to really be like that? No, it doesn't. It's not with everybody. But once you see the signs in somebody, man, you can feel energy-wise when somebody does not have your best interest or when somebody's fake. You can feel fake energy. It's just that a lot of times you don't trust so what some people might call your sixth sense or intuition. You don't trust it. You don't fully you don't fully go with it. You question it. But you can feel someone if they're being disingenuous. It's just there. The problem is, the more time you hang around them, the more times you associate with them, you desensitize yourself to that first impression. And then you are able to be swayed by the illusions that the individual is projecting outwardly. You know, you have to understand that. Another thing is, don't question what you're feeling from certain things. If it's, and I mean not just a being, a hyper vigilant type of thing. I mean, if somebody's just really being phony with you, and you feel phoniness, or if somebody's really trying to charm you, don't ignore that. If you see these red flags, don't ignore that. And especially if you already feel that way, I don't care how down you get, keep how you feeling. I know a lot of you want to go and get it off your chest and express to somebody how you feel, and keep it to yourself. If need be, another good thing, if you have to, record yourself about how you're feeling. All right? Just record yourself at that moment about what you're feeling and what's going on in your head, what's weighing you down, and then listen to it the next day. Sleep on it, listen to it the next day. Right? Try that out. I'm not going to tell you the effects of it, but try it out for yourself and see if that works, because you don't want to, it's best to confide in yourself and then listen back to yourself later. Not within that day. Save it for the next day and listen to it the next day. You'll feel better, but you won't feel like you got to hurry up and go talk to someone for validation, because the validation that you may seek for someone to help you get an understanding, or to kind of, side with you, can be used against you. You are your first line of defense. You as the individual, nobody's gonna look out for you like you. Talk to yourself, confide in yourself first before you run off confiding with people who don't have your best interests. It'll come back to haunt you in the end, and it won't be a good thing. Just keep that in mind. That's all I have to say for this video. Choose who you confide in carefully. So like I say, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Make sure you go get the Departure of Empathy 2 documentary, which is available now. Click the link in the description box. It'll take you right where you can go get your copy. And until next time, everybody have a good one. Bye now.